Welcome into another episode of Phuca-Pod, Phuca-Name product. Find us all across the web at Phuca-Name, Phucaname. I'm your host, Frosty Phoenix. Catch me across the web at Frosty Phoenix. I can't spell, y'all. FROSTYPHENIX. Spell it like you mean it. Here with the usual squad spec. Squad, introduce yourself and where people can find you on these interwebs.
Yo, what's goody? What's goody, y'all? It's your boy Wavey God here. Of course, the Wavey's bird ever, the anime watcher, sneaker lover, anime and video game player. I'm messing up. That's crazy. That's wild. Yeah. But you already know, rate the podcast 5 stars on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Like and share the videos over on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, and of course, you can watch the full episodes on YouTube too, man. To get our views up. You know what I mean? So you can bring more listeners in to one of the greatest podcasts out there for all nervous related topics. You know what I'm saying? And this week, it was a doozy of a week. Well, last week was a doozy of a week, but it's still continuing with even more stuff. So we got some stuff for y'all. Like I said, the best nervous podcast is here now. Put our view on some things. So y'all sit back and relax.
2026 has been, as my colleague said, quite a doozy in gaming. Other topics that we usually want to talk about are peanuts right now compared to this. It's like,
yeah, this is crazy, man.
We can't not talk about everything going on. We're going to chain it all together. Trust me. But we're going to start with this. The continuation of the BluePoint shutdown. Right?
Oh, yeah. That's, man, y'all listened to the episode last week. We came out with the BluePoint being shut down, but even more news came out about it, as stuff does nowadays, where we get more of the inside information. People talk to sources inside, and we get even more details. So,
Shout out to Green Zone Bites on X. Spoke to 4 BluePoint employees. Yes.
Either one.
Spoke to 4 BluePoint employees. Wrote out the study, or the timeline, if you will, on Twitter X. And this has been going on for like the last 4 years or so. Now, just a general summary. You can go to their tweet. We'll link it down below. At the end of 2020, BluePoint shipped out Demon Souls. Sony talked about the acquisition. Just a quick summary. Shadow of the Colossus was rebuilt by BluePoint from the ground up for PS4. Companies wanted to add DLC to possibly mitigate funds. So they wanted to add DLC to Shadow of the Colossus, but that didn't go down. Thank goodness. Shadow of the Colossus
I say thank goodness.
Didn't need DLC. Y'all need to cut it out. You don't need to be milking everything to be some type of extra financial cash cow. Anyway, remake doesn't deliver the funding they anticipated. Shocker, because that's another legacy game. Of course, I appreciated it. I looked tonight. I do have the remake in my library. I haven't finished it. I have other games on my plate. That's not one of them. Still a beautiful game, and I beat the original.
Man, that's like you said, it's a legacy and it's very niche. Like when people heard the game, like I said, the core gaming niche, when they heard that this was going to be a remake, they were like, "Oh, Shadow of the Colossus." But that's not getting into the casuals. They don't even know what Shadow of the Colossus is.
Sure don't. And that game tells you nothing. Shout out to 8-Bit Close Fist's recent
I knew you were going to bring that
video.
up
too. Where he highlighted the gamer who was having an issue with Portal. Don't remember the whole video.
Works and the puzzle and stuff like that,
Yeah, and not necessarily sure if there's more to the video that 8-Bit showed for the guy, but to 8-Bit's point about how games are easier now, and I've said this on multiple podcasts, I've said this in different group chats, I'll say this if you DM me and have me a conversation with me about it. I've talked to Wavy about it. I'm talking about it right now. Games are easier now, but they have more tasks, right?
Right.
More later games are having more tasks. There are hard games. Souls-likes. There are hard. Hollow Knights. We're not going to forget y'all. There are hard games. But a lot of games now are very task-oriented. And we're talking about live service games, littering the market right now. But for a game like Shadow of the Colossus, man, that game tells you nothing.
You just gotta figure it out.
You gotta figure it out.
That's where like the critical thinking skills start coming in.
Bro. And all you have in that game is a sword and a shield and a horse. No, a sword, a shield. No, a sword. No, sorry, you don't have a shield. A sword, a bow, and a horse. You know what I'm saying? Like, no upgrades, no suddenly being able to lift the Titans, no super speed, nada. You don't get no upgrades in that game. You figure it out.
Kids today be like, what is this? Like, it's on my screen.
Right,
What's the mini map?
Does it have skins?
Well, you said that. It's crazy. You said that.
Does it have skins?
I'm more of a mini map person myself, so I definitely need a mini map. I'd prefer one anyway.
Yeah.
I could play one without. I could play a game without it, but
Expedition 33 didn't have a mini map, but you could pull up the map. But it did not have a mini map.
That's true. It didn't have a mini map, but you could like you said, you could pull up the map and stuff like that. But they probably would have benefited from a mini map. But it was so cool because you just running around, you just doing stuff. So that was cool.
Step in the wrong place and get jumped by a Nevron. Get smacked by a Nevron.
You'd be turning around like, oh no. You trying to run away one night, trying to book it, and you see it, you turn around and they chase you like. And then some people be like, oh, Nevron, let me go over there real quick. let me power up real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shit, you thought, but back to the BluePoint timeline.
Gotta love tangents.
Right. Shout out to back to the BluePoint timeline. Shout out to Green Zone Bites on X and Twitter. 2020. So there was assumptions at the end of 2024 a possible Bloodborne remake, and we all talk about that often. We talk about Bloodborne remake.
Everybody wants that. Everybody
wants that, right?
That would literally break the internet if that ever happened.
Right.
But there's probably a good reason why that may not happen, though. I don't know if he's gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying? But there was plans of it. I think they pitched it. But.
They did. So 2021, the Bloodborne remake is murky waters. If you do a little Googling, a little research, even surface level, and dig deeper, Bloodborne is just wrapped into a lot of, like, not litigation, but just ownership between Sony, From Software, and the other studio. Like, it's in a limbo, and it's exclusives to PlayStation Studios still. So it's getting into murky waters, and people have made their own versions of the game, like ported the game and done things a certain kind of way, like modders and stuff like that. But in general, the game is owned by Sony, and I think there's probably it's probably on hold for various reasons, including not wanting to give that title up without a solid plan, and or people that just don't understand the power of it. That could be a couple different points there, and I'm not in anyone's head in Sony, but I'm just giving an assumption.
Yeah, from what I just pulled up, it looks like it's just a fragile relationship, like you said, between those two companies right now. It makes of early successful collaborations, later reported friction and stuff. Like I said, making it fragile. That's what most industry rumors are saying. And that BluePoint Games, they wanted to, like you said, they wanted to do a Bloodborne remake, but it was being blocked or ignored. Basically, it looks like on that, and they always blame each other. PlayStation blames From Software blames PlayStation. So, like I said, it's a big limbo, like Frosty just said, and that's the main reason why we'll probably never see a Bloodborne remake, unless everybody just gets it together. But who knows when that'll be.
So another aspect of that, the Bloodborne remake was shelved because of that ongoing back and forth. It makes me think of why the game Dusk Bloods is coming for Nintendo Switch only right now, based on that conversation we were having about the murky waters between Sony and From Software.
Which I'm still surprised by that. Like they're making a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. Like when I saw that, I was like, From Software, they don't put stuff on Nintendo. Like, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna do it again. Whatever though, I don't care. The fact that they made this, they must have really They must have underpowered this thing so much because the way I don't think the Switch 2 can run like the PS5 and Xbox Series X. So it makes me question how's it gonna run, but I also want to question maybe is it a timed exclusive? We don't know. It may be just a regular Switch 2 exclusive. We don't know. So I know it's gonna sell some units. It's gonna sell them some units. I'll definitely know that for a fact because it's from software. So.
The one thing I wanted to know is between, let's just say, Elden Ring and its success, sold over 25 million.
So 25?
No, let me see. No, not 25 million copies. Let me see. For example, I Googled, right? Armored Core 6. Loved that game, right? It was really good. Mm-hmm. One and done play. Now, if you want to go back and play it over and over again, that's one of those things where I recommend it. If you would, I do think about doing that from time to time. But does my gaming plate fit that right now? Unfortunately not. But the game did sell over 3 million units worldwide as of July 2024, making it the best-selling entry in the series of games, while not reaching the massive sales of Elden Ring, which is slated to say over 25 million copies, is not specified. I think 25 million units. The mech action title exceeded expectations and was a major success for From Software and publisher Bandai Namco. The reason I put that in there and asked that is a deeper dive into why From Software and Sony have a bad relationship right now. Probably something personal or something political. Maybe a little deeper dive. We can speculate. Comment down below what you guys know. We'll probably dig deeper into it as we go along. But off of surface level knowledge, I'm not certain. I was wondering if that had something to do with it between Elden Ring, Armored Core, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, and Night Rain. Whatever decision was made, that suddenly Dustbloods is as my colleague said, a timed exclusive or maybe just a permanently exclusive deal with Nintendo. Don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it could be the start of a beautiful relationship.
Maybe. And also understanding that Sony and Nintendo and From Software are all Japanese companies.
Also very true.
So, you know what I mean? Whatever's got going on in the base is whatever's got deals going on over there. So,
yeah, that's also very true. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, that could be something.
Yeah, so when we're talking about the conversations about Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, Sony and Nintendo over there, From Software is over there, Xbox is over here. You know what I'm saying?
They in the West. Everybody else is in the East.
So, yeah, it's been a bigger conversation not with that, but just where Microsoft stands in this big three is American. So
it might not be no big three. We'll get to that later, though. It might not be no big three for anytime soon. It might not be a big three for that much longer. We'll get into that soon.
Bro, everybody's imploding and Nintendo's just chilling on its island. So anyway.
Yeah. One's there too.
but they charging the arm and the leg to get on that island. Yo, it's just so crazy. Gaming's so crazy right now, bro.
It's just one big business right now. Big money's being spent. It's being thrown all over the place.
It's just good business. It's just business. I can't even say it's good business.
Two different things.
Right. But back to the timeline for BluePoint, because this all comes together, y'all. We promise. From Green Zone Bites on X and Twitter. Summary of their report. Go check them out. Bloodborne remake was shelved. BP, I'm gonna call him BP just for time purposes. Was moved to assist Santa Monica Studios with Ragnarok, to assist them with the daily needs for Ragnarok and the service. This is where it gets interesting. Jim Ryan, former Sony Interactive CEO, was pushing a live service model desired to make a God of War franchise like the Assassin's Creed franchise.
So a yearly kind of thing, basically.
What?
I don't even know how that. Like our last episode, we talked about a God of War live service, so now we're getting into it. But how would that work? I don't know. What would a God of War annual release it look like either? I don't know. I don't know how that would work. That would literally be like they'll be putting the franchise out there just to not to die, but it would be burning it out.
Yeah,
and that's not a franchise you could do that with. So I don't know why they thought. I don't know why Jim Ryan thought he could do that, but I
just trying to make money, man. At the end of the day, that was the goal, right? So for the God of War franchise, let's just see the time of release between all of the titles.
Well, I know the first one came out in 2005. I guess the second one came out like 2007.
All right, so God of War 1 came out in 2005. God of War 2 came out in 2007. God of War
2010.
It's good. What? 3 was 2010. So I'm gonna go chronological because this isn't time related, but just it's even for timeline purposes. God of War Ascension is technically the first game of the timelines. But technically now that'll change to God of War Sons of Sparta. That'll be first. But God of War Ascension came out in 2013. Chains of Olympus for the PSP came out in 2008. God of War 1 came out in 2005. God of War Ghosts of Sparta came out in 2010. God of War 2 came out in 2007. God of War 3 came out in 2010. And then God of War came out. God of War 4, we're talking about just for timeline purposes, came out in 2018. Ragnarok came out in 2022.
So generally they take their time with this game like you should do.
Right. From a general standpoint, so we talking about 5, 7, 10. So 5 and 7, 2. 2 and 3, 3. Chains of Olympus was a PSP game, so like 7 to 8 was a year, so that probably was a synonymous work with 2. Ghost of Sparta came out in 2010, so that was with God of War 3. So we're talking like one title, then probably 2 titles synonymously. So Chains was probably worked on with God of War 2. So God of War 2 came out first. Chains came out right after that. Then Ghost of Sparta was probably worked next to God of War 3. Those came out at the same time. And then we're talking about Big Break. And then, and Ascension came out in 2013. So a little bit, 3 years after God of War 3. And then 18 was God of War. So 13 to 18, 5. So, yeah, like you said, slow cook.
What you're supposed to do with your prized possession.
I mean, so from what I'm understanding for Jim Ryan, who's formerly CEO and former CEO of Sony Interactive,
keyword
right?
Former, and that's probably a good thing.
Unfortunately, right? I don't think he was necessarily thinking about. It was like kind of like an idea of thinking about how it could be like Assassin's Creed. I don't necessarily think like they were possibly going with like a yearly release of things, but the idea was definitely going into wanting to have a live service game. What that looked like, per like Wavy just said, we speculated on the last episode. I have no idea what that could look like.
No idea.
For God of War. No idea what that could look like.
At the same time, though, if you do it right, it could possibly be something. I don't know what it could be, but if someone cooks up something crazy, I don't know. Like you gotta. Sometimes you gotta see what they can cook up. Right. But I don't think me personally, I don't think it could work. But I mean, you never know. Like Fortnite didn't come out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? So.
Very solid point. But the thing about Fortnite is it's a hodgepodge of everything.
Sure.
Now.
Right? Yeah.
So, I mean, initially it had its own...
It's also a spin-off of a tower defense game.
But it's its own concept, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we'll get into like possible spin-offs too, and unfortunately how this story concludes as of last week, even to this. And how companies want to make spin-offs from certain popular titles. But when we're talking about wanting to have like franchises to spread out, like Assassin's Creed 2, I am a big fan of the Ezio collection. It's a collection you can get. Before it wasn't the Ezio collection, it was just the Ezio trilogy that you knew it. If you had Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations, right? And they had its own multiplayer games. But in the stories of those, Assassin's Creed 2 and the way Assassin's Creed 3 ends, it ends the mainline story for Assassin's Creed 2 and it opens it up to you just being a regular person at the company in the real world that you got to plug into to operate an assassin. So that kind of opened the world up to be like, it could be anything, because it was more about the assassins than about the people on the outside now. It started off as being a whole composite story about jumping back and forth into the system so that you could figure out something in the real world, to damn near just being like a sim game that you operate as a person. From a story standpoint, God of War is about Kratos. The franchise is about Kratos. It could be about more now. We'll see how the game fleshes out and the series fleshes out. Even though there's a remakes coming for the games franchise to revisit the first 3 games. And we speculate, at least I'm speculating, like that the other games would have something heavily involved with Atreus later on down the line. I know Corner Fox wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I mean, right. It strays away from being about him.
Yeah.
It's been about him for 20 years now. So
right, it would just be like a forced kind of thing if they did it. And there's also rumors that it can be going to Egypt. So
right.
I mean,
we've been sitting on that for a long time now. We've been.
I would like to see. I would want to battle Anubis.
I mean,
Anubis and Seth. Oh yeah, of course. Yes, I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
You gotta see if that stuff is real first.
Yeah. So continuing the timeline, Sony ends up buying. No, sorry. Sony and Santa Monica don't trust BluePoint to make God of War live service on their own, and it's too expensive. Shout out to that report if I'm butchering that idea or that understanding of how it's going. Basically, Sony and Santa Monica were not letting BluePoint take point in whatever God of War live service or spinoff they were trying to do. Thank you. BP. I kind of wondered if you caught it, but I caught it myself. I was like, "Ooh, that's hot." What BluePoint was trying to do. So BluePoint took a gamble and ended up convincing Sony to buy them instead of trying to find their own funding and stand on their own, which is another lesson we were talking about with Bungie. Wow, this all loops together. I swear.
We'll get into that later. Yo, that's how you should wear this 5 stars, man. Stuff like that. You serious? Like, where you getting that anywhere else except for here? But we'll get to that later, like I said.
So after the purchase, 2022, BluePoint is tasked with creating a game they didn't know was a live service game. Did not have a game director at the time. So they got duped into this joint. So to create a game, and they don't even have a game director, so they don't even have they're just like operating on their own merits. Toward the end of the year, Santa Monica team ends up basically lending them a director and a couple of workers to supplement the team's needs to work on now acknowledged live service game. They didn't know it was a live service game they were working on.
Nope.
Now they, at this point in the story, now they do. Other things happening in the background, backlash between work schedule conflicts, hiring freeze at Sony. They were going through a few things, and COVID. No, sorry, this is after COVID. Excuse me. But COVID definitely didn't help a lot of things right now, especially being 3 years prior. 2 years prior. At this point, 75% of the BluePoint staff were against the live service game, but heads of Santa Monica, Sony, and BluePoint were moving forward. BluePoint's
they should have been mad. Like, we don't do this. Like, why are we making it? Like, you're making a studio that doesn't do this. Do this. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, they're clearly for one specific thing y'all hired them for. Well, from what we just read, it was kind of like a gamble. But still, y'all hired them for one specific thing. Actually, according to this, y'all didn't. But they're known for one specific thing, so you're going to make them shift their operations to this money grab live service thing that everybody else is doing. And that's probably why this thing is not succeeding either, this whole live service thing. And that's a different topic, but I'm going to get to it right now. There are these companies that don't do this regularly. So these big companies are making these developers do this, and it's not their passion. They're not used to it. So, of course, it's not going to come out the way y'all want it to come out. You know what I'm saying? Now, if there's a company that or a developer that is used to live service stuff, where like I can see companies or making their own studios that are used to live service stuff and doing that. I can see that, but if you're asking a regular development studio that doesn't do this on a regular, of course it's not going to come out the way you want it to. And it's probably not going to sell that well. But I guess big companies don't realize that yet. But hey, you know.
I just realized something. You know who else Sony bought in 2022? Bungie.
It all ties together, man. It all ties together.
So, back to the current timeline. BluePoint heads at the time when we were talking about it, we're moving along with the team to try to, roll with the punches. Sony was the lead. Santa Monica Studios is definitely like Big Brother at this point because they're the money maker, one of the money makers for Sony, right?
Yeah, it's a franchise.
Yeah. So 2025, project eventually the live service game project was eventually canceled due to internal strife and missed deadlines, right?
Because guess what? They don't do this kind of stuff. So why would they be able to turn out a good product?
Do this, I can't.
Like, yeah.
So what they did try to do, and I appreciate BluePoint's tenacity here, is they pitched a Jak and Daxter remake. They pitched a Resistance remake. I love both of those franchises. Then they pitched a Shadow of the Colossus remaster for PS5. Wow. So
that wasn't needed.
No. But
the Resistance and Jak and Daxter, I can see like a lot of people, including you, love Jak and Daxter. So
yeah, I loved Resistance, bro. I loved 1 and 2. And I think 3 is when stuff started hitting the fan, I'll be honest with you. But those games were good. And I don't really bang with like kind of scary horror. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was horror. It definitely was like, if I had to compare, it was like Destiny's Hive characters, like the aliens run at you or whatever, and you kind of have. I'm not spoiling for anybody that's interested in Resistance. I don't even think you can get a copy of it for anything outside of PS3. But basically, you eventually get powers and you're fighting aliens. Oh my gosh, it was so cool! Like the guns had like the shield things you could pop. I'm not even gonna get into it. It had a multiplayer.
Memory lane, huh?
PvP. Yeah, nah, we don't have time for that right now. And then of course the Bloodborne remake somehow made it back on the table.
They keep pitching it. They want to do it clearly. They want to do it, but this relationship between PlayStation and From Software is just messing everything up. Like, I don't think they noticed that you will literally print money if you would have made that remake, you would have literally printed money for Sony.
No,
and From Software.
Here's the deal with that. We'll get to the timeline again, y'all, but this tangent. I knew you were going to say that, and I was thinking about it. And that's it, thinking about it deeper, like Devil's Advocate, and you guys are probably thinking the same thing, or in the comment section, you definitely agree with Wavy. I do too, but Devil's Advocate in general is you think people are going to want to buy this game. You think you're about to get old gamers to rebuy this game, people who still own the game. You can still get the game on the PlayStation Store. You can get the game. So why am I doing that again? But
I'll
interesting to the point that might help you a little bit. That might help you a lot bit is why they remastered Last of Us 1 and 2.
But that wasn't needed. Well,
that wasn't.
They weren't needed because that was Sony just being Sony because they saw that the sales for Last of Us, and that was like one of the last games that came out for the PS3. PS4 came out a couple months later, like, let's remaster this, put it on PS4 so people could buy it again and everything. And then Last of Us 2 remastered, that wasn't needed at all. Like, it literally wasn't needed at all, but hey, what? People still bought it. Okay, whatever. But I'll combat you with the Bloodborne remake. Like, I will agree with you that you don't know if it's going to sell like that, I think it will, but it may not be to the numbers that they wanted to. Because, like we said before, I don't think Bloodborne was met. It was met with a critical acclaim for gamers that are in that genre. But to the casuals, they don't know nothing about Bloodborne. No one know about Elden Ring, and that's because it blew up in 2022. That's one of the first Soulsborne games to blow up in a long time. I think ever actually. So I think
in that way,
if they made a Bloodborne remake, it would sell far better than Shadow of the Colossus. But it wouldn't be to the numbers that they would want it to. But at the same time, I think people would want to rebuy that game because people have been asking for an upgraded Bloodborne with like 60 FPS, with updated visuals, more things to do. They've been asking for that for a long time. And because I think the first one's like basically stuck at 30 frames when you play it. I don't know, it might not be the way on PS5, but it's like it still looks like kind of a PS4 kind of game. Huh?
For what game?
For Bloodborne.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, of course you want the updated visuals, updated everything, updated frame rate, all that. So I think to your point, I think people would buy it. The people that already have it will buy it again just for that specific thing, but it wouldn't sell to the numbers that they probably would want to do. But also, this relationship between PlayStation and From Software is also really bad or fragile. So, that goes that as well.
Yeah. So Bloodborne, came out in 2015, a decade.
Yeah, man.
A decade as of last year, this report. Received widespread critical acclaim, boasting a 92 Metacritic score for its intense combat, gothic atmosphere, and unique Lovecraftian world building. Hailed as one of the greatest games of all time, it was a major PS4 system seller with over 7.4 million copies sold by 2022.
Oh, it sold 7.4 million copies of the PS4 or the actual game?
Actual game.
Okay.
Though initially criticized for performance issues. And people even
on the PS4, that's why.
Yeah, even still talking about shout out to a couple suggested videos, at least one over here on YouTube. Bloodborne is still one of the best games ever made. From the YouTuber Neo's Forum.
That's why I said it will literally print them money if they did this. Or it should be. It should anyway. We don't know if it would literally print money, but it will do some good numbers. I think it will do far. Like I said, I think it will do far better than the Shadow of the Colossus remake that they did.
I'm gonna ask something here. Let's just look at Final Fantasy VII Remake significantly outperformed Rebirth. Let me see. Now I'm trying to see. Let's ask a more poignant question. The original Final Fantasy VII has over 15.5 million lifetime units sold worldwide, exceeding the 7 million plus lifetime sales of Final Fantasy VII Remake as of 2023. Let me repeat that.
So the original has more than the lifetime of the Rebirth? Yes.
Remake. So what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? So that's why you tell, a Jack remake, don't you dare. It's not the same.
I think the hardcore fans are still one of it.
The hardcore fans are me and 5 other people.
Of Jack? I don't think that's true.
I'm joking. Jack and by 5, I mean a few 100,000. I'm just saying.
I don't think that's true though. I think it's a big fan. It's like one of the PlayStation mask.
I think it's one of those hidden, not hidden. Let me not say
Jack
hidden.
And Daxter? I don't know if Jack and Daxter is hidden. I want to
say hidden. Let me not say hidden.
Yeah,
I would say. I would say. I think it's a general question to ask. If you said to a casual gamer, we've it's been coined now from several of our gaming colleagues in this podcast space, the ball and gun gamers. If you said certain games or certain names to people, would it trigger I actually heard of that or not? Right. Jack and Daxter. I've seen clips online. People do share that stuff sometimes. And of course, you see the fans of oh, my people. when you see them liking videos on social media, on TikTok, Instagram, people share clips of Jak and Daxter. You go, wow, there are other people that are like me that like this game. But those videos don't surpass like millions of views. They get like hundreds of thousands of views.
I feel
so. So the comparison when I'm making it right now is, again, Final Fantasy VII OG has sold to now 15.5 million copies worldwide. Remake, as of September 2023, has sold 7 million plus, right? While Remake sold 3.5 million copies in its first weekend, sales for the second part have reportedly underperformed. So, a combination of both just barely touches the sales of the original. Financially, what would that look like for you as a business owner?
At this, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, it's almost like we're wasting money on this remake that is like not even touching what we were doing before. But at the same time, you also got to account for inflation and all that. So, but I see what you're saying, though. Like, I know it's always to go for the fans, what the fans want. But as a business, like you said, if you look at those numbers, it's almost like, why we're not touching the numbers from back in the day, like almost 30 years ago, when we have the better engine, better graphics, better everything. So I can see where you're coming from on the business side of things.
Can I say what I think I said pre-episode and what I said? I think I'm going to say it again. Because the game has heart. Heart. 7 has heart. 7 Remake, I played it. Love it. Met the new age battle system and all that jazz. Basically, it was like Kingdom Hearts. You know what I'm saying? Except you could switch between people. And I love those games. Like, I love those games. I'm not going to take it away. 7 had a different kind of heart. You know? Like, we're talking about, like, a Bloodborne. Like, I want to revisit Bloodborne 1 because of my experience with that while I'm playing with a couple of gaming friends. I feel like I rushed through it and I never finished it. I want to revisit it because I've beaten Elden Ring twice now. Right? And it's even Cornered, who has said, man, for anybody that's like, oh, we want another Elden Ring, something, blah, blah, blah. His quote is, man, go play Dark Souls 3. Go play Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, or whatever his quote is generally. Go play Dark Souls.
I remember saying that.
You know? And I picked up, I think, Dark Souls 2 and 3 on sale. Like, basically, I've picked up the copies on sale. And I picked up Demon Souls 2. So my Soulsborne list is growing. Of course, people also recommend Sekiro, and I've started my playthrough for Lies of P. Yeah. So, in general, with that genre, that's a whole other thing. But like with Bloodborne being on the table again, and this remake, I don't know. Shout out in the comment section if you guys generally agree with the commentary here on Bloodborne. Do you want a remake? Do you want a remaster? You know?
Yeah, let us know if you do. Like, all your hardcore Soulsborne fans, y'all let us know if you actually really want a Bloodborne remake, like full-blown remake, or just remaster with an upgraded, frame rate, visuals, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't need like a full-blown, remake. Like, it came out 10 years ago.
Just a polish. Yeah,
it's nice old polish, and then the frame rate, goes higher, so. Mm-hmm. But I know one thing you've had to say about the BluePoint thing, not forgot, but like the way that Sony kind of finessed them into making this game in here. They basically was like, when they were acquired to make, they were coming up with the original project for the God of War universe. I think BluePoint was failed to be mentioned. It would fail to basically catch on that. The catch was that for the God of War universe game, they would need to stretch the content and everything. That was the thing that Sony told them, to stretch the content. But I guess they didn't catch on stretch the content. What does that mean? And later on, it kind of came onto them oh, wait a minute, you're talking about a live service. Took a couple months to realize that, and then that's when you said that 75% of the company, they wasn't with that, which
right,
it's fair.
Right. They're making a what?
We're not used to that.
Now we make sandboxes. Well, we want you to make a game that never ends. Like, oh, okay. No, chief. So, but they did pitch a Ghost of Tsushima spin-off title. I believe if I'm pulled it correctly, it's like CS. It was like called Black Hawk or something like that.
It's called Black. The code name was Black Fang.
Yeah, Black Fang.
And apparently Sony actually liked that. They were like, oh, all right, make that. Make a little prototype. I think it was 5 to 6 months for the prototype.
But if you want to close this out with the news, basically, and where we are today, feel free. Right there in the summary.
Just like, in the note it said like, everyone felt that it was cool and that it was officially. They thought it was gonna be greenlit, and they were even on track to hit deadlines. They found out February 19th. We're asking y'all, which is you think everything is fine, everything is cool, and it's like, nah, it's actually not. Like it was actually in the background, like let them work on this title. We'll give him this little seed right here to work on. You know what I'm saying? We'll throw him a bone and shit and whatever, and then that's it. Like
you have until March 2nd to collect your things.
I feel really bad for BluePoint Studios, man. Like after all this is coming out, I feel really bad for them, and I hope that like all them employees get hired somewhere else or something else happens with them, because that's messed up. First, you're gonna dupe them into making a God of War live service for the most part. They pitch y'all mad stuff, y'all just throw the pitches away. Like they pitch it to you, you ain't even try to swing. You just said strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. Like that's it. They ain't do nothing. And then they work on this game that you said y'all liked, and they got 5-6 months to make it, and then, nah, y'all cool. Get y'all things, y'all out. Like what? But it's worth noting. I think it's worth noting that too. That like I think BluePoint was mostly made of like contractors, but still, like you don't want to see that.
There were a core group of about 40 developers that were part of the team with different contracts, different people that were in and out. And unfortunately, even by the report, a lot of people either left the company, were let go, or died.
RIP.
In this whole thing, like people, that you never hear about, like things that you don't know in detail. People for rotations for jobs and stuff like that. But say all that to say, now we're all caught up. BluePoint fans have taken the anger out now on Marathon, because BluePoint had a lot of supporters.
A lot of them, like I think because of the remakes, man. People were holding out hope. They were holding out hope for that Bloodborne. They were holding out hope, and they were like, "Oh, you like all y'all games?" Because I think even like I think what Force is gonna go into, like when he said that like BluePoint fans are getting taking anger out on Marathon, there's a certain tweet that went around on the PlayStation Twitter account, basically promoting Marathon, and it's coming out in 2 weeks, and at the Server Slam, which is out today, because we're recording this on February 27th, so it's out today actually till March 2nd. It's totally free, so you just it's basically a big open public test. So y'all go try it out, but these comments, oof. It's rough. It's rough. Like you gotta go scroll all the way down to see something positive, and even then, I don't think you're gonna find anything positive. Like, there's one thing I see: you guys closed BluePoint to offset the cost of buying Bungie, didn't you? I see another one saying you shut down BluePoint for this dog shit. Like I see you closed down BluePoint Studios for this slop. The F. I really hope this crap flops. A lot of stuff like that. Like they're taking the anger out on this new game from Bungie that didn't even come out yet. You know what I'm saying? It looks to me, it looks like it could be good. I'm personally gonna try the Server Slam this weekend, so I could say something about it, next episode or whenever. Y'all make sure y'all tune in for that and everything. But I will say, before this episode, my colleague, my squad member, who's recording me right now, has some stuff to say why he may think that this is getting met with so much hate. Besides the whole live service thing, there could be another reason why they're getting met with so much hate. Take it away.
Where do I go with this? I think most of you know at this point. If you're new to all this, congratulations, fantastic. Subscribe.
Follow.
Thank you for hanging around for all of our content. And comment down below what you do know. Like, follow, subscribe, share with your friends, like my colleague said. Bungie has been around since the 90s. That's a very wild thought, right? Since the Xbox.
Yeah,
the original
90s,
Xbox,
yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Bungie has a reputation. The reputation has since been gone in the shredder because of the treatment that they've gone through with their only mainline title at this point, because Halo is now owned by Microsoft. But now their title that they own, well, maybe co-own at this point, in Destiny and Destiny 2, had gone through a lot of changes. Now, I do understand with companies, you do have to pivot, you do have to adjust, but there are certain things that and decisions that were made that people didn't like. You can even for other content creators who love playing Destiny and are heavily critical of it. You don't like Destiny. That's not what that means. That means I can like something and be heavily critical of it. And there's some things in here that I don't like. I'll still play the game. And personally, I stopped after a while, because if you don't like something about something, you can just leave. Right?
That is an option. You can leave and not play the game anymore. Some of y'all are too hard to think that way.
Right. Stubborn, but like overall, there's a lot of Destiny YouTubers like out here, like we're talking about Bife, Dotto, Astacross, right? Who talk about this stuff on a regular. And I follow them. I listen to them. I agree with them. Joker, right? I definitely follow his commentary. When it comes to this title, people are upset about it because of the treatment of Destiny, how the fan base hath fallen, the different aspects of it. Even the most recent title as of this recording in Renegades and their other DLC. I don't follow the game that much anymore, but their other DLC that they had planned got pushed back, right? Really heavily pushing this Marathon title, and PlayStation tweeting out, oh man, heavy promotion for Marathon. It's like, bro, what about Destiny? Company seems like, what about it? Right? You might as well have just closed it 2 years ago of this recording with the final shape. Period.
Maybe they tried to do that.
No, they didn't. Because then they tried to promise more content after the final shape. Like the final shape would have been an excellent close. We saved the universe finally. And the game could have just been something that just got regular updates, and they were continuing story updates into the game. Now, I'm not coming at the other extra storylines that they've tried to release. Like there's a character they brought back, Maya Sundaresh, which is basically the real form copy of one of the exos from I think Destiny 2 when they had factions. And yeah, I've been playing this for a long time. So I don't even remember the name. Dead Orbit what was the name of the other one that I was like affiliated with. I forget. But overall, people just don't like the way that game was treated. And for you to then pivot to promote this other game, the fact that you can reserve Marathon in Destiny, inside the game of Destiny, is absurd.
They're saying, hey, we know you're playing this game, but check out this new game coming out that we got.
Bro, it's wild to me. The fan base was loyal. I don't get it. But
so you mix that in with angry people angry BluePoint fans, you get this tweet and all the replies.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the follow-up that was deleted before this tweet. And I believe you mentioned it before, Wavy, of course. PlayStation asking what games people want to see remade a couple of days after BluePoint's shutdown. So you shut down one of the company arms that was specialized in remaking titles, PlayStation titles, and asking people what remakes would they like to see. what remakes would you make? You shut down the remake engine,
right?
essentially.
Like that's
unless you have another plan. Unless y'all had another company.
I'm hoping that was just a poorly timed tweet. I'm hoping that was just poorly timed, and that they weren't trying to like trying to be funny with it. I hope they was just poorly timed, and and that's the reason why they took it down. I'm hoping that's the only reason why. That's that little tie up, man. Like, and I think in one of the actual replies, they were actually one of the replies. Somebody actually posted all the Metacritic scores of all the BluePoint games. Like Demon Souls remake had a 92, Shadow of the Colossus had a 92, God of War Collection 91, Flower, not familiar with that one, 91. Metal Gear Solid HD Collection 89, Uncharted Marathon Drake Collection 89. Like, and they're kind of like, what's the reason? So, man, like that's that tie up we were talking about, man. Like, it just all ties up together, man. Like, PlayStation, also, I don't know what's wrong with PlayStation right now, but they're not even the worst ones. But we'll get into that later.
With a couple more points, and then we're about to jump right into that as well, and this overall tie-in about the gaming industry. One funny thing I will say before we move forward is funny. The Concordian timeline picture is in this comment section.
Yep,
it's like we're posted just. Psh, psh.
And they even got that Reaper meme too, where they have the Reaper is being labeled as gamers.
Oh, I found it.
Yep. They have Concord on one door.
Why is
Highguard another door? And they got Marathon and knocking on the door right now.
Why is Highguard? Highguard's not dead.
It's not dead.
Highguard's not dead.
It's not dead. It's not dead. And I don't want it to be dead. I think they got a new mode coming soon, like we said before, and they have new characters. So we'll see what happens. And to be fair, the site is back up and everything from what we reported before. The site is back up. So I think, like Frosty said, they're doing some overall prior domain change and just doing they're still adding content to the game right now. So we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully it turns out for the better.
I see a GIF of somebody put Ted from the bear from the movie Ted. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. Yo, that hits so hard.
I see one person said, "Yeah, no thanks. I'd rather wait for Crimson Desert instead."
Yeah, the title that you're looking forward to,
March 19th. You already know I'll be on that.
Yo, this art on the comments, like, you killed Destiny and Blueprint for this, and there's a picture of this crew. There's like a hodgepodge of things and as a drawn picture. This is hilarious.
The comment section is comedy, yo. Like, I don't see one positive tweet here at all.
Refund
like requested. I'm surprised they didn't delete the tweet. I'm so surprised they didn't delete this tweet, man. Like this, like it's literally no pot. I see it even like the gif of Mr. Rogers throwing up 2 middle fingers.
I just seen that too. I'm not laughing at this is downfall because again, this is people's jobs. People do work for Bungie still. You know what I'm saying?
You know?
I'm not wishing for that downfall for y'all because y'all got a job. Someone put Concord 3. Ah!
You need to stop. Y'all need to stop that Concord shit. You need to stop with that, yo. Like, stop with that. Like, man. Come on, man. Like, Concordian timeline. I think the Concord now. Like, stop. Just stop.
Strays. Let's move forward. This is about to be a whole episode of just reacting.
Just ranking on
tweets to replies to this tweet. Oh my gosh! So
you looking making a whole episode on the tweets?
Dog, we could. We totally could. Now, the PlayStation possibly looking at shift to PC port strategy. Jason Schreier and Nate the Hate say this, with Jason saying it may not be speculation. So, what does this mean about looking at PC ports? Because there are a lot of PC, and we've talked about this even in our Discord. Shout out to Husky Okage.
Shout out to Husky, man.
Mentioning how at this point both games can be acquired on a PC net at this point, with Game Pass being on PC. And a lot of Sony titles come to PC eventually. So either way, with the PC, you get access to any titles you would think were exclusive eventually.
Mm-hmm. That's true, but I think there's bigger like things to this because I think when I saw that Nate the Hate said that, they basically said like the strategy shift would be for single player games to not be ported to PC. It would just be like literally just multiplayer games as the live service games because they say that the live service games is too large of a player base and too important to like it just be exclusive to PlayStation anymore.
Right.
Like and I think Nate the Hate, shout out to Nate the Hate, he used Sons of Sparta as an example because that's like literally an exclusive and it's supposed to be a experimental exclusive like how Lego Horizons was and stuff like that, but it's only exclusive to the PlayStation as of right now. Like it's not on PC or nothing like that. And usually like they were like PlayStation has been good with like pouring this up to PC a lot faster now, but there was news around the time of when the Steam Machine got announced. A couple weeks later, like a month later, there was news of Sony saying that we might be pulling out of the PC ports. And I'm like, did that Steam Machine scare you out a little bit? Because if they got a Steam Machine, if you could get Steam on there and everything, you could play PlayStation stuff on there. People gonna be like, why would I need a PlayStation if I could just get it on the Steam Machine? If granted, it will be there a little bit later. All you gotta do is wait. You know what I'm saying?
I think this ties in with why they're holding on to Bloodborne because right now Bloodborne is exclusive to PlayStation,
PS4,
PS4, right? Excuse me, I'm being facetious here, right? Like hoping PS5, but I think if they did do a remake and they made it for PS5, I think then that opens the floodgates for like people to like snatch it up and remake it. You know what I mean? Like same way they have
mods to it, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, just do what they want to do.
And eventually it would have to be something where you put it out there on the table and people will grab for it. But that's like Microsoft, that us, right? You bring it out, bring it over here, right over here, over here, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, this whole thing, I get. Look,
and that's what they would have to do. Like what we talked about for games being like single players and not being profitable to be exclusive anymore. Like, you know,
it may not be so profitable, but at the same time, what else are you going to bring your players to? Like, you have to have those exclusives to keep that player base on that console. Granted, PlayStation has that advantage already because it's older than Xbox. People are more familiar with it than Xbox. So that also plays a factor. But those exclusives, if you think of PlayStation, the first thing you think of is like, those single player exclusives that they had, everybody knows I love this. The Infamouses, the Sly Coopers, the Ghost of Yotes, Ghost of Tsushimas. You got Spyro. You got Crash. You got what else? We got Last of Us. There's a whole bunch of them that you can just name off the dome. Like Spider-Man when it was exclusive. Like
Assassin's Creed a whole lot exclusive.
You said which one?
I think Assassin's Creed 1 was exclusive.
I think so. Like it's just, you can just name them off. Like well, other companies you can't really. Well, Nintendo you can. There's one company you really can't do it that way. We're gonna get to that a little bit in like a couple more minutes, guys. But and that kind of goes into that too, because like with the stuff that they're in, they really put all their heavy hitters everywhere else. Like there's no reason to really be exclusive to that company anymore. But PlayStation, they're kind of bringing it back to be like, hey, we're still like you can still buy us for those exclusives.
No, sorry. It wasn't exclusive to PS3. It was on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think I think the exclusive thing, we may not like it as a consumer because you're only stuck to one ecosystem, but as a company, you need that for people to go back to get your console. Because without it, you can just if they see about pouring stuff to the PC, and the Steam Machine comes out eventually. What reason is there to get a PlayStation? Exactly. Especially if it's going to be like you play everything on the Steam Machine. You know what I'm saying? Even if it comes like a couple months later, all you got to do is be patient. But at the same, like I said, you have to have those exclusives to bring people coming back. Yeah. And I think they're starting to learn that now. Like live service, fine. We'll port them to PC. More fan base, live service money coming in, whatever. But those single players, y'all coming over here. And other company, they don't got that no more. Nope. Could be a segue, but I don't know.
I was thinking about it. I was like thinking about it. It's like, oh, like looking at the list here. Sorry, y'all, brain fart. To the one singular thing that we do have that is exclusive right now, from what we understand. Wolverine
announced for September 15th. Woo.
So now we're still talking about exclusive, right? So, I mean, when would that possibly look at? Because Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's still for PS4 only, PS4 and PS for PlayStation and PC.
It's on PC.
Yeah,
Spider-Man 1 and 2. Yeah, but
right.
I don't.
But
it seems like Wolverine might just be, like I said, if they're pulling it back for real, that might just be a PlayStation exclusive forever. You know, so. And that, you know what's crazy about that game? That game comes out a week after Phantom Blade Zero. My God,
I'm over here still being lofty about my damn backlog of games, thinking I'm gonna get through any of that.
I think I'm be catching up anytime soon. Nope.
Bro, what?
You see how everything is launching before that November release window.
What was it? Was it new Roman numeral?
Yep.
And there's only 6, baby.
There's only one game, and I talked about this in my TL today. There's only one game I think that is not scared of that release date. Pokemon.
Yeah, they got nothing to worry about.
Exactly. See, it's a totally different fan base, so they could announce it coming out in November, and they don't have to worry about it.
No.
They don't got nothing, because those fan bases are like, they're not similar at all.
No.
At all.
I mean,
only way it could be
similar. Only way it could be similar is you start putting cars in Pokemon.
Exactly. Like, that's the only game that I can see like them being like, announced in November. We don't care. Like, they get their numbers, we get their numbers. Like, whatever.
Well, in the newer Pokemon games, you can ride Pokemon. So
technically in the Legends, yeah, all right, yeah, you can.
I'm trying. There's no way you can. There's no way they parallel or cross at all. Like,
it's definitely not a crossover. Right?
Not at all.
Oh man.
And then we won't leave them out. Xbox news, as everybody's heard and talked about on the internet. Phil Spencer stepped down, CEO for retirement. Sarah Bond out with him. Matt Booty, Chief Content Officer. Asha Sharma is the new CEO, formerly the core AI CEO at Microsoft.
And that's scaring a lot of people.
Tell me why. Because I'm not in the Microsoft side of things. I'm not an Xbox owner. Corner Fox,
the name.
One True Noob, Desert Skies, and then our partners, Husky Okage, partners at Chillin' in the Party, 8-Bit Close Fist, other people have an Xbox. Like, I don't have an Xbox. Matt for Crew of For the Crew podcast. I just don't have an Xbox. But everybody has a say in it, but me. You can go ahead.
No, I definitely understand that, but like, it's like, you know, the fact that you
had an Xbox 360. That's last week's.
That's about
it.
I
still have it.
You still have it?
Yeah. Technically, I still have the cord. I gave it. I forgot what happened to the cord, but yeah.
Nah. Okay. But yeah, I think that's the main reason why. Is like she's from a background of like core. I think she's come from like Instacart 2 at one point. So basically, she doesn't really have a gaming background.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she was a higher up at Instacart and everything. And I guess she was like in the C-suite over there. You know, if you know business, this with the C-suite, if you're in the C-suite once, you pretty much are set for life. You go C-suite, be anywhere be C-suite. So I think she was higher up at Instacart, and then she came over here at Core AI. I think she got hired there like 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago. So that seems a little fishy too. It's almost like they were almost like not preparing this, but it seems like they were, because like she all of a sudden gets this job after 2 years of being hired at Microsoft. Yeah, y'all look over Sarah Bond was literally underneath Phil Collins. Not Phil Collins. Wow, Phil Spencer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks a little fishy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she's a new CEO of Microsoft of Xbox, Microsoft Gaming, of Xbox.
Yeah,
with the chief content creator, like you said, Matt Booty. It's a crazy name. But I think they did that purposely too. They wanted her to be with somebody that kind of knew the gaming business, because I don't think she doesn't really have any experience. And I think people were trying to get on her about that too. Like they were trying to say like, yo, put your gaming history up and stuff like that. And I don't think she had a lot of gaming history and everything, you know. So people were like kind of skeptical of like what she could do. But she did come out with a statement saying that they don't want to release any AI slop with Microsoft and Xbox. They want to bring Xbox to the glory days, and different things like that. But my thing with that is, yeah, you're saying the right stuff, but at the same time, what is AI slop to you? Is that the same as the AI slop to us? Like, it's different things you could be like saying in that particular statement. That she's saying the right stuff. Don't get me wrong, and I hope she does great. I hope that she could bring Xbox back from the ashes and be the greatest company again, like back in the big three. But it's a long ways from that. And you know, I think, like I said,
make Microsoft great again. MMGA.
I'm not even gonna do that because that leads to like a certain side of the politics with not even certain side, a certain particular person.
I get what you mean, but like,
and, you know, and that they should never do that, because they should learn from Splitgate 2. Remember, he did that. Make first-person shooters great again, and stuff like that. And like, I knew what he was trying to say, but you know, it kind of coincides with that "Make America Great Again," the whole MAGA thing. So, and that rubbed people the wrong way. And I think the game wasn't even that good whenever it came back, so that kind of killed the game's momentum. So, don't go that route, Microsoft. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, I think when it happened, she did say that, like, you know, I think the main thing she said, as monetization and AI evolve and influence its future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Yeah, and this news apparently was going to be announced this Monday, this past Monday, but IGN, they leaked it on Friday. They leaked it. They were going to leak it, so Microsoft wanted to get ahead of it and everything. So, yeah, I want to see how this is going to turn out. I really do. I want to see how she's going to shape up. Like, what's it going to be Xbox person? Because there was some things going around as well saying that, like I said, she wasn't going to bring Xbox back to the glory days. So, does that mean more exclusive to Xbox? Does it mean you're going to pull back on the whole Xbox is everywhere? Because there's rumors also saying that was Sarah Bond's idea, and it ruffled people the wrong way inside of the place. Like, I think it came out recently that whole Xbox Anywhere and is an Xbox ad was Sarah Bond's idea, and that offended many people internally, and it rubbed people the wrong way. So, and I saw somewhere she was apparently hard to work with. I don't know if that's true or not. But when I say all this, it looks like to me, I could be biased because she's a black woman and it's Black History Month. But I don't think I am biased right now. It sounds to me they're trying to find a scapegoat. That's me putting my tinfoil silky on. They're trying to find a scapegoat for this. I don't know if it's true or not, but like it just happened, like, because even when the whole Xbox Anywhere and this Xbox ad, it may not like get people internally to be on their side, but at the end of the day, it did, like, you know, the revenues just was going up for like those games, like you said, Forza Horizon 5 went to PS5, sold like what 3 or 5 million copies, like, dog. Like, they're pouring stuff over, and it's getting even better sales than before. So obviously that was working. People didn't like that at first and everything, because like the core franchises, and that goes back to another conversation. You had to have franchises come back to your console. But at the end of the day, it just started selling. It was making revenue. But at the end of the day, you need stuff to come back to your console. And we were talking about that before. I think before this episode, that you need that stuff back. And like, you know, you were talking about something else. It just went out of my head. everything. But yeah, I just don't. I'm on one side. I'm worried that this person, Asha Sharma, she does a great job. I don't know if she. I want to see how she's going to handle this, how she's going to like bring Xbox back.
Well,
it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot it's going to be a lot.
So to add on to what you said, reading over an article real quick during the discussion for PureXbox.com. So the headline for the main article, this article that I'm referencing right now, Xbox won't back away from first party and become just a publisher, insists EVP Matt Booty.
Is that a shot at Sega?
What do you mean?
Because that happened to Sega too. Remember, like they shut down the console, just started being like a straight up publisher, or like just started like just started licensing stuff out, and they don't have the consoles no more. They just literally just put this stuff anywhere.
Oh, like the Sonic titles and stuff like that.
Yeah, or any title. Like
yeah.
So is that a shot at Sonic at Sega?
Nah, no. Apparently, that's they're trying to. I'm just speculating here from what even remembering that and Wavey's point, if they're trying to copy that model. So on the article saying Booty addressed this during yesterday's Windows Central interview. So today is the 27th going into Friday. So on Wednesday, as of this recording, telling the outlet that we're not backing away from first-party games and hardware. It's core to our partnership with Microsoft being involved in early hardware decisions. All the work we've done to get games like Gears of War running great on new devices like the Xbox Ally and so on. It's embedded within our structure. We're not backing away from that. We're committed to being a first-party games publisher in partnership with our first-party platform team. And generally, like, they have a picture of Booty and Sharma on another article when you're Googling this information, and following up with Sharma saying and reiterating in general during the interview that returning to Xbox is something that starts with console and starts with hardware.
AKA, how we gonna get people to get these Xbox consoles again? And it's gonna be a tough sell because y'all literally already basically sold all your core franchises that made Xbox to the so-called ops already. Halo, Forza, Gears of War, Fable is going to be on there soon. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, that's what you were talking about before, and that's when I went blank, whatever. That's what you were talking about before. What's the reason to go back to an Xbox right now? You don't have a particular reason. Like I said before, PlayStation's pulling back mainly because they can. And I think Steam Machine probably lit a fire underneath them. But at the same time, it's like, that's me personally. But I just feel like, you need those things to make people come back. And if you don't have those, what reason do you have for people to get your console? And that's basically, at that point, it's basically for people that don't want to go into the PC space for the most part, or just stingy and don't want to do anything else but PlayStation because you're putting stuff over there anyway. So that's how I feel.
Well,
with that particular situation,
there's also a poll on PureXbox.com on how you think or how you're feeling about the future of Xbox with this new tag team of Sharma and Booty. So,
man, I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that. You said what?
None. I didn't say anything. I think it's just like there to check out in general.
Yeah,
I think I
said a couple episodes before. Yeah, I think I said this a couple episodes before. They're on a tight leash over there at Xbox. A very tight leash right now. Like that Activision deal, that put them in that put them down in a serious hole that I don't know if they can come back out of, because you spent 69.7 billion on there. we haven't really seen anything from it. Y'all put Call of Duty on Game Pass, sure, but y'all also reported that because y'all did that, the first year y'all did that, y'all lost $200 million because of that. So, and we haven't seen no new IPs. We haven't seen nothing. We've seen Starfield, but that's Bethesda. Even with that, people weren't really satisfied. They were disappointed with that too. So they're really gonna have that, like the Microsoft as a brand as a whole. Like we said before, they're doing just fine. They're a $4 trillion company. They're fine. But as a company, if you have divisions, and most of them are making you money, making you a profit. Like, you're good. Query's good. Copilot, whatever, that's good. Everything else is good. You see Xbox. They're not turning no profit. And they cost you billions of dollars. You're going to look at them like, what? I gave you consignment. Where's the interest? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think they're looking at them like that too. And you know, I don't want to say it, but I feel like I think I did say this before, that like if that next console doesn't come out, if it comes out and it's not a hit, they don't make it a hit. It might be currents for the consoles. They might be just going straight software and straight publisher, like you said before, with like Sega did. I can't see them coming back from doing consoles if the next one doesn't hit. I don't know how they can make a hit either, because I don't know if they got to go back to the drawing board with new IPs or something, because you can't put your core IPs on PlayStation and everywhere and then just say, psych, we're bringing it back. You can't do that.
Marvel did it.
When? What are you talking about?
No, I'm joking. I'm saying in general, like we're talking about with Marvel selling off a lot of its assets and titles off before, which is why we got
but
the
that
Spider-Man
also when
movies.
they were like dead broke. They would go. They're damn near going to. Yeah, I mean it was a slow process though with them too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they sold them off in those time periods, but like slowly but surely they started getting them back
over a decade. It's an oversimplification, right? And they just
I get that. Yeah.
They only sharing custody battle with Spider-Man and Sony. You know what I'm saying? So it's not you know it's overly complicated. And in fact, they had to buy portions of Fox just to get like, you know what I'm saying? Like it
basically, yeah.
It in any case, it's a general joke. I'm sorry, it's not tasteless. Well, it probably might have been a little tasteless, Benny, but
I will give Marvel credit. Yeah, no, I definitely understand what you're saying, but I'll give them credit for that. For the ones that they didn't sell off, they literally like started from like those characters that nobody knew about, unless you were like really in that comic book universe, and they really made their franchise off of it. So I really commend them for that. That's really good. Like the Avengers, I think they weren't as big as they were like after 2008, 2012. No. Like you had to like really be reading the comics and like know about Avengers.
I heard of them before then.
And you could hear of them and stuff like that, and like you have to be, but you're still in like that diverse every now and then. The regular person is not gonna know about that. Like they had to like literally make a movie and stuff and be like, hey, these people are here, because people didn't know about them before. You know what I'm saying? Like they were from characters that like they didn't sell off because they weren't really profitable like that.
Right.
But once you started making the money, then you can start licensing them like, hey, y'all come back here, we'll give you this much for that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think Xbox can do that with these titles, with Halo and Forza and stuff, but we could see they have the money for it. I don't think Microsoft is going to give them the money for that, honestly, anymore.
Right. That's a big power play, especially when someone like say is a real life person, making the comparison. Like somebody might sell off their things, you're going through it, and then you get a new job, or you happen upon the sums of money, and then you go and buy all your stuff back. That's your hope. You sell off things to make ends meet, and then you start making a little bit more money back. You're cool. I can go buy my things back now. You go buy them all back.
You also got to see though, because I think remember when Sea of Thieves was exclusive to Xbox, and then it came to PlayStation. It sold like a whole lot over there too, which is kind of it's not confusing at all. People will say these console wars and stuff like that, whatever, and it's good for like profitability for the consoles and the company. But these PlayStation people, they love Xbox games. I'm convinced. They just needed the time for them to come to the PlayStation.
Yeah,
that's it.
Period. Like every
game that went over there sold so well.
I loved Halo.
See?
Like, well, I could say that now, but after I got the 360, I had an Xbox to play Halo. It wasn't on PlayStation. It was the only way I could play. I could only play Halo.
And now you can get it on PlayStation when it comes out.
Yeah, coming soon. You know what I mean? And then they had, and then was it Helldivers? Helldivers is now on Xbox as well, and the whole thing, in general, and like the pack you can get with like the Halo assault rifle and the ODST helmets, not Master Chief's helmet.
Yeah, like so. I see what you're saying. It's gonna take a lot of work over there though. Like I don't know what. I think that's the solution though. Like they got to go back to the drawing board and come up with some new IPs that are exclusive to the Xbox, or exclusive to like that Windows, and maybe like one or two exclusive to Xbox. Because if you want to do something with consoles, that's the first thing you got to do. Like people may not like the exclusivity, but that's what makes y'all people. That makes people want to come back to you. So, yeah. At the end of the day, you have to do that. Yeah. Look at Nintendo; they're perfect for that. You can't get Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi nowhere else. Well, allegedly you can. Allegedly, but
you probably
can't get them nowhere else besides Nintendo.
Yeah, like fan made, that kind of stuff.
Fan made and other options, but
yeah,
that's for y'all to figure out. We don't want nothing to do with that.
Well, one more thing before we close, and this is another story that we followed up on a couple episodes back that we've been keeping an eye on along with you guys, and that's where Warner Brothers stands as far as ownership, and even tying into the gaming aspect of these companies just like buying and owning each other, like these legacy companies starting to like trade homes right now, right?
Monopolies, it's monopolies just playing with money.
Bro, like things you used to grow up with that like now are merging, like stuff that you love or now can be found with other things that you. Anyway, just oversimplification, just going down memory lane with y'all. Don't mind me. Netflix backs out of the deal for Warner Brothers, meaning Paramount is back on the game when it comes to Warner Brothers finding a new home.
It's for the most part the new home. If everything goes right, they're the new home for what's it called? Warner Brothers. So, and it's funny how it went down too. Like,
yeah,
well, the CEO said,
I will say it now, and I'll let my colleague say it in the better way for y'all, which is the funnier way. But Netflix said in a statement, "We believe we would have been strong stewards of Warner Brothers' iconic brands, and that our deal would have strengthened the entertainment industry and preserved and created more production jobs in the U.S. But this transaction was always a nice to have at the right price, not a must have at any price." Wavy.
AKA, we like y'all. Y'all a good company. Y'all got franchises. We don't like y'all that much. Like y'all trying to go. Y'all think y'all worth this? How much money? Nah, we good. We already a powerhouse. We would have been good for y'all. Y'all not good for us. It's no. Y'all can go somewhere with that. It's fine. We'll be over here.
We were doing this for the entertainment industry.
We wanted to make jobs. I like how they try to like make it so like we were trying to do everybody else a favor. You're gonna give more jobs to the people.
But we didn't need it. But on Thursday, as of this recording, so it's yesterday at this point, Warner Brothers Discovery, the board deemed a $31 per share offer from Paramount Skydance superior to the Netflix deal, and Netflix, as my colleague Wavy said, "Nah, we're good.
Nah, we good. we good.
Nah, we're good.
We got ourselves over here. We still the number one streaming service, so we're fine. We don't need y'all."
It is like, what it is.
I mean, the main winner here is gonna be Paramount Plus. They're going to have all these franchises now. Hopefully they can do something with them.
Hopefully they can do something with them. That's always...
Because that app is still kind of trash. Functioning-wise. Like, I swear, if I'm on my TV and I'm on Netflix, Hulu, I'm good. When I go to, like... Even Disney Plus got a little better. When I go to, like, Peacock, or if I go to Paramount Plus, that joint is super slow. It is super slow and it's hard to function. I swear to you. Like I said, the Paramount Plus is the big one in here. So shout out to Paramount Plus. I have it. I've been thinking about getting rid of it. But after this deal, if it goes through, maybe I'll just think about keeping it more, because now I could watch DC stuff. I could watch Cartoon Network stuff. I could watch Lord of the Rings stuff. I could watch Game of Thrones, HBO. So what happens to HBO Max?
I think that would still dissolve regardless.
You think so?
That would be the idea that would still resolve. Let me see. Let's see, HBO Max.
I just thought about that, because HBO Max is literally for HBO shows and like other things like that's Paramount that they will be getting if this deal goes through. So would that app just cease to exist now?
So,
or would they merge with Paramount Plus now? We got a new app. Oh my
so
God.
even in December, Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav says HBO Max will stay, and then it's the headline. Yeah, I know that name trips you up. When I said it, HBO Max will stay even after Netflix deal, says Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav. Right, so that was then. So in December, so meaning it probably will still stay. I don't think that.
What they should do is like how Showtime do with Paramount Plus, and they just combine them both.
I mean, yeah, like same thing with like Hulu eventually will dissolve into Disney Plus.
There you go.
At least from my understanding.
Everybody's in bed with each other.
Yo, man. You live here now. You know, let me see. Hulu is merging into Disney Plus this year with a standalone Hulu app set to shut down. Following Disney's full acquisition of the service, all Hulu content, including its library and original shows, will be integrated directly into Disney Plus's platform.
Disney, if y'all doing this, y'all better make sure that Disney Plus app works perfectly fine.
Pristine.
Because right now, there's still some stuff that's like not good with that app. It's still not the most functioning one out of the bunch.
No.
So y'all better make sure y'all clean that joint up before that happens.
I love the image just now when you were doing that. I came back to the camera and looked like you were looking at them. I see how you're piercing their soul.
Yeah, I was. I was staring to the soul. Like,
he was like, listen. I was like, hear me. You know. Other than that, I think that's the news wrap up for y'all. But I will say one thing. Is the next time that you probably will see us, whether it's next week or sometime soon, depending on the next recording that we do, we're going to be following along Nintendo's Pokemon news that drops. So hopefully we have
that will be dropping soon. So
yeah, hopefully we have.
We're going to see what they have. Maybe some Gen 10 news and probably a mainline game, but. That's saved for another time. We'll talk about that another time.
So. Absolutely. That's all, squad. Be sure to check out all of our content anywhere on the web. We are there, guaranteed. Phucaname, Phucaname, and Phuca-Pod, Phuca Pod. I've been your host, Frosty Phoenix. Catch me across the web at Frosty Phoenix, FROSTYPHENIX. Voice acting, video games, journalism, all that good stuff. Squad, close out with your socials.
It's your boy again. You already know the waviest bird ever. You already know Wavy God. WAVIIGAWD _ on Instagram and WAVII _ GAWD on Twitter. You know, sneaker lover, enemy watcher, the video game player is here in effect. You know what I mean? We just had the nice little episode for y'all. Y'all already know we are the best nervous podcast in the world. See, I might as well get y'all news here and everything, and every other topic that is in the nervous, like any other topic in the world. You know what I'm saying? So you already know. Rate us 5 stars, Apple, Spotify podcast, and of course, like and subscribe. Like our videos and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? And of course, share with the homies, share with the squad. You know, it's your squad. And I'm gonna make this one clear too. Bring this one back. You already know what A1 players make A1 plays. You heard?
Facts. I couldn't have said it better myself. There you have it. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.